Today, we're reviewing the season, but first and foremost, we're looking at this news article where Thomas Tuchel got sacked by Man City for his poor control over the finances at the club. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I showing you this? This was 6 days ago. We've had some gains since then. So, what's so important about this article? Well, it's not the fact of who got sacked, it's the fact of who was linked with the role. That's right, Julian Nagelsmann and myself were the two biggest names linked to the role. And I outright said, look, not interested, don't even want to know anything about it. It's cool that it's only taken me 5 seasons to get this sort of bump in reputation and this kind of exposure, but it's weird that it's taken only 5 years and it's a Man City job who just finished second place and only sacked their manager because of the fact that they, well, were really poor financially and also Sigmund's scaled down the financial support of the club. But that's fine, they're not doing too bad in that scale either. But you're probably wondering, why am I showing you this? Well, first and foremost, we're linked to the role. Second of all, I've never seen a club spend £9.39 million on wages. They're overspending by £1.39 million. And suddenly, Tuchel's sacking makes a lot of sense when you realise he was sacked because of financial mismanagement. I also wanted to show you this because of look at the players who are earning the big bucks and how much the players are earning, and then look at their age. Yeah, it's not ideal, and whoever takes on the job is going to have to do a lot of work to sort this out. Not that it's something I plan on doing myself, but okay. I just wanted to show you this because I thought it was interesting and it was kind of hilarious that this was something that was brought up and I was linked to the role. So let's now get back to our league season. And having won the league and cut double last year, how did we finish off the season? Well, we started things off with a 0-0 draw against Puskas Academia, and it wasn't our finest moment. We actually were the worst team in the game and we should have lost looking at these stats, but we didn't, and perhaps we were lucky to survive. We then finished off the season with a 1-0 victory against Kazvada. Hamberlik scoring the only goal of the game with this effort. It's quite the finish, and it was really good to see him score again. Did we deserve to win? Yes, absolutely. But were we made to work for this, and were we frustrated? Also frustrated as well, so we definitely had a lot of work for ourselves here. But we finished the season as champions, 12 points clear of Ferencváros, who got second place and are in the Europa League next year. That's who we wanted to be up there. Ferencváros being in third place was also good. So the two teams I expect to do really well for me in helping us make the best of the Hungarian coefficients are two teams up there with us. So happy days. We now just need to do better and better things, don't we? But we're now going to review the season. We've won 2 trophies for the first time in our time at the club. So suddenly our interest from Man City was not unwarranted, I suppose. And look at the players we bought in. Ben Knight was actually our best signing in terms of average ratings. No one else got above a 7, which is a bit of a surprise. But the bug, Lucas Bugler, got a 16 goals and 2 assists. So he was signing of the season. So the fans loved the guy. But we made some big moves, we made some big signings. Whether or not they've worked remains to be seen. Some of them may be more long-term than others, but we have to be very serious with where we go from here. And the fact that Ben Knight was the only player over the age of 20 that signed for us this year tells you just how young I went for the season and for the summer I went in. Players out, we just let some players go out on loan. Matthias was not planned, but we still made a good profit from him. £2.6 million for his sale, the biggest sale we've made so far. And players that have got out on loan, I don't see a lot of them coming back permanently, if I'm honest with you, but there you go. Hopefully, we can benefit from this long term. Season results, we won the league, and we were only expected to get top 2. We got knocked out in the league phase of the Champions League, which to even get there in the first place was nice. And we won the cup for the first time, so we're looking good in that regards. We just need to continue this and do better and better. Members to remember, the 6-1 victory against the New Saints was our biggest win of the year. Our match to remember was the 2-0 win away to Red Star. And the goal of the season was scored by BaN against Budapest. The fact it was this goal, and I actually do remember this goal, it was quite a nice finish. He cuts inside and just does this finish. I can see why it's considered the goal of the season contender. Whether it is the goal of the season, I don't actually know in my mind. But okay, a good finish either way. Financially, we are looking much better. The prize money being up to £20.4 million is very productive. We made some money in the broadcast revenue and sponsorship as well, so hopefully that will get better and better. We also made $500,000 in merchandise sales, and we sold over 5,000 shirts. The fact that 3 of our signings have made it into the top shirt sellers is also promising. How we line up was this, and the fact that we've got some players who aren't amazing, I will say the Matthias one is probably a bit off because it's showing the whole stats, nothing more. So I don't think he had the best of times at Hull City, but I'll look at that later. But if you look at our team, we've got a good lineup here, and the fact that our goalkeeper is the best player in average ratings is interesting. Accolades was this: Nicola was the best player and the fans' player of the season. He's turned out to be the almightiest of signings we've had, and after a year and a half, the fact he's got 26 clean sheets and only cost 220,000 might make him the best signing we've made so far. Noel was the young player of the year, Buckler was the signing of the year, BaN was the goal of the season, and Buckler gained 16 goals. Isn't a record, and it shows that we've dropped off a little bit there, but we've tried something different. Boxe with 14 assists as well is a good comeback for that, but the fact that Nicola Kavlina had 5 Player of the Match awards as the goalkeeper this year really says a lot. Okeke with 69 passes per 90 was good as well, but we've made some big moves in the transfer market, signing a player for £3.6 million up front, or at least over the course of this season, and then selling Matthias for £2.6 million is showing that we're making good money now, and it's great. History in the making. Unsurprisingly, winning the 2 trophies this year is great, and it really tells me that we are making good steps in the right direction here, and we're looking good either way. Manager timeline was good. The fact we got 6 players that we signed from a youth intake was good, and it tells me that we've got some good players going through. Also, Milan got 41st place in the next gen, so that's a good thing as well. So we're making good inroads in that regards. The fact it's been brought up twice in the timeline is a bit concerning and annoying, but what can you do? But either way, we've done good things here, and we've made some good progress as far as I'm concerned. The League and Cup double for the first time was always the plan. But looking at our season stats, we're looking good. The fact we didn't have the most goals per game and the most goals this year is interesting, but it also tells me just how good our clean sheets record was. The supporters are becoming more demanding though. We've now got 500,000 social media followers, and they now want us to win the league, and that's saying a lot. The fact that the board also want the same though is also interesting, and it tells me now we're building a good team here, and they are definitely going to be more demanding of the seasons coming up. And then the fact they want us to win the cup in another 3 years' time, and just to continue in the league every year, is definitely a good sign for our progress. But the overall best 11 is now this, and Kane Wilson's up here, as is Noel. So we got a few players with over 100 appearances, some players with almost 200 appearances. Noel has got the most appearances, surprisingly. Boxe is only 3 away from 200 appearances. I'm just a little surprised that Noel's got the most appearances though. I thought he didn't have that many, but apparently I'm wrong. So we're looking good, and progress is definitely being made here. But we're looking at this team report, and there's a new thing that I've noticed here. We're now only considered slightly below average in the Champions League. That's an improvement already, and tells me that maybe, just maybe, we're making good progress to ensure that our team is getting quite good now. It's only taken us 5 seasons to get to that sort of note, but the fact that our team is now considered just slightly below average in the Champions League is a good sign. It's a lot quicker than I was expecting it to be, so hopefully we can keep this up. Also, the fact we've only got a few weaknesses is also useful. Lack of squad depth is definitely one of them, and I'm going to have to work on a few things as well, but we've got some things that we can talk about, and it's promising to say the least. Either way, we're going to go further forward and see who's won the Champions League, because that is what I want to look at. Because we're going to get more money, and also I should talk about the budgets before we do that. We've got £17.4 million in the bank, but our transfer budget is £14.7 million, with a wage budget of £187,000 per week. So we've got a lot of money to play with this year, and perhaps, despite what we did last year with our money, we could do a lot more with it. But either way, let's go further forward and see how much more money we can make before the new season starts. Well, this has come out of the blue. Apparently, we're receiving a takeover approach. Don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just going to bring up anyway, just in case it does, because it's interesting. And we've received £2.4 million from the Champions League for TV revenue, and an extra £780,000 for the coefficients ranking pool money, so that's good. So now we're going to review the European competitions, and Newcastle were beaten by Lille in the Europa Conference League final, so that's a start. In the Europa League, Tottenham beat Aston Villa 2-1 in the final as well, so another victory there. While in the Champions League, PSG have won their first Champions League trophy, beating Inter Milan 4-0 in the final, which might be the most dominant Champions League win in recent memory. Really says a lot, doesn't it? But we've now got £20.6 million in the bank, so we are looking good. I'm going to go a little bit further because I want to see how much we need to worry about this sort of thing. But also, the Euros are happening this summer. We are not expected to lose money. In fact, we're actually expected to make money now. So we're in a very healthy financial situation. And I don't need to sell any players right now, even if we're only secure financially. We do have that £2.6 million in transfer debt, but that's because of clauses where we're making some extra payments for players we bought in. So we can work around that. But with the takeover in place, I'm going to see if there's any more notes, because sometimes takeovers can happen quite quickly. If this doesn't happen quickly, we'll see about it sooner rather than later. But I'm expecting to hear some news about this before the end of June. I'm going to go to the end of May, and we're going to see what happens from here. Also, one more thing in, we just got a tax bill of £2.8 million, and we've just had some new commercial summary, so we've got some new sponsored money. And we've now got a scouting budget, which allows us to go all over the world. And suddenly, I've got a lot of new things I can work on. And now we've got £23 million in the bank thanks to having a £2.5 million sponsorship deal. It is the third highest in the entire league, and we're actually only just behind Ferencváros. Ferencváros have got more money in sponsorship than anyone else in the league, so that's interesting. So we've gone to the 1st of June, we've got £22.3 million in the bank. Nothing has really come up about the takeover just yet, but we need to put that in the back burner for now because we do need to improve the squad a little bit more and bring in some new players for this upcoming season. We need a new goalkeeper to back up Cavallina, and left back we're looking okay, but we might need to get rid of some players as well here. I think we're getting to the point that we are starting to outgrow the homegrown players, which means we need to bring in some more younger talent. We need to strengthen our midfield. Budapest, despite my love for the guy, I think is replaceable. And Zenzemi is definitely replaceable as well. So we got two players who I definitely looked at in the past, looking at potentially being moved on. Zenzemi is only the third choice left winger now, which is his role for the last couple of years. We need a new right winger as well because of all the players that are leaving. We've got two players that are out on loan. We need to get a new replacement for this position 100%. The striker, I don't particularly need a new player. We've already got two young strikers up front with another young talent coming through the system anyway. And it's definitely not an area that we need to be concerned about. It's honestly probably our strongest position right now. Even if we didn't get many goals from the strikers, though we did get two strikers scoring 10 plus goals, so it's not terrible. But new goalkeeper, definitely needs to strengthen that position quite quickly. New right back, new right winger, and strengthening up the midfield as well. So when we get those positions strengthened, I think would be good. Whether or not we need to strengthen defense, I don't know. We might need to do that as well. Though there is definitely talk about other things as well going long term. But what I'm going to be doing is ending this here. I hope that you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video, and that you also subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.